Hey, this is D.
And this is C, and we're here to remind you.
To after listening to this podcast, to follow us on Podbean.
Also, follow us on Twitter at DCHighPod.
And then before you take that next super hot selfie, why don't you go ahead and get on that Instagram and follow us at The Real DC High.
And while you're over there liking cat videos coming down your, what is that, wall, you can follow us on Facebook as well.
And we're now available on Spotify and Google Play. Now on to the podcast. What? What? What are you doing?
What? I'm making fireworks noises. I'm getting all patriotic.
Why?
Because the 4th of July is tomorrow. Duh.
Oh. So I'm guessing that
Pretty hearts.
this must be our 4th of July special then.
That's right. It's our 4th of July special.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I took notes on the 4th of July and just happened to have them sit right in front of me just in case we were going to do a 4th of July special today on July 3rd.
Woo! Lucky us. And there's the comment from the peanut gallery. All right, little one. No roughing.
Isn't it funny how it could be dead quiet for hours, but the minute you go to do something that requires silence, all these noises start happening?
Every time.
As long as she stays quiet, she can stay in the room.
Do you hear that, puppy? Anyway, back to this awesome possum 4th of July special we have going on here. That's right, awesome possum.
So, tomorrow's the 4th of July, so that means everybody's going to be
Barbecuing.
barbecuing, busting out the grills, getting their hamburger and their hot dog
Burning
on,
extremities. That's always fun.
burning explosions, because we do the one thing we try not to do in life is explode things or get hurt. But we
Actually,
put
there's
ourselves
cases of
directly in line of damage. That's like
Yeah.
silly. You're gonna have
blindness
and it's always hot, so you always have people who are gonna get extremely sunburnt
and dehydrated
and dehydrated. This is when
because
you,
they're drinking.
yeah, this is when you have the drunk people who forget it's 95 degrees outside and wind up looking like Krusty Krab the next day and regretting
Exactly.
life. And then most people forget they got to work the next day.
Oh, yeah.
I bet in the adult world it's like National Cut Day.
Pretty much. It's a National Hangover Day.
Yeah, National Hangover Day next to New Year's, the day after New Year's Day or New Year's Day. New Year's Eve. You do it on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. But most
Are
places
you
are
okay
closed.
over there?
I was trying to remember how it worked.
Okay.
And then you would have the Super Bowl probably be. I bet you if we look that up, I bet you they're the top three. But I bet you.
Okay.
Fourth, the fifth is the most called in day. After a
called?
holiday,
Well,
due to
obviously.
hangovers. Due to hangovers.
Yeah, because
Due to
90% of the time, if it's a
Inability
holiday,
to show up to work.
people get extremely drunk. And the more they get drunk in the heat, the drunker they get
Yeah, it speeds up the process.
dramatically.
And anything else in your system.
It speeds that process up
Speeds
as
that
well.
process up.
But we are not promoting that.
We're not. No.
Kids,
Don't-
don't do drugs.
Don't drink in heat. Drink inside where it's cold.
That's right.
Stay
Air
inside. and
conditioning
get
is
drunk.
love.
Do it inside your own home. Therefore, you decrease the chance of you injuring someone else.
That's right. And don't drink and drive.
Yeah, make sure you're at a stop sign first.
Oh.
Because if you don't, it's a good chance you'll spill your beer.
Hmm.
You don't want to do that. That's a party foul.
Oh my goodness.
It's the rules. It's the rules in the drinking world.
Yeah. As the alcoholics see it.
So, what
I'm
kind
just playing.
of... Anyways. What kind of stories you got for me?
Ah.
Got any good teasers? Do you have any ways of summing up your stories? Or are these kind of spitfire facts?
This is more of maybe a little something out of this world, and we may be calling EMS. Just throwing that one out there. Maybe throw a little throwback to the history of the day we call Independence Day, aka
4th
4th of July.
All right, well.
What about you over there? What now, brown cow?
That is racist, ma'am. And I need you to stop that. I'm offended.
Just
All
for
cows
everybody's
matter.
information, I have a Q-tip in my hand that I am extremely tempted to
What,
Chuck
clean my
at
ears
his-
with?
chuck at
That's
your forehead.
awesome. It's really thoughtful of you to want to perform body maintenance on me. Yeah, would that be correct?
Bodily maintenance.
Bodily maintenance. Because you're maintaining. Because you're, yeah. Cleaning out the ears.
Believe me, the last thing I want to do is clean your ears out.
Oh, come on. I had my earbuds in today.
Oh, so they're nice and juicy.
Oh, so juicy.
And that is disgusting.
So,
Anyway.
Stories I have today. All right, let me see what I got here. How can I tease some of these?
We know Mary had a little lamb. We were
Um,
aware well of that.
Do all cities celebrate the 4th of July the same way? Or is there some cities that are more unique than others? Some are actually celebrating their 4th of July. Their anniversary of their 4th of July celebrations may be longer than most.
Oh. You talking like a week long, month long?
I guess you have to stick
Next
around.
to you?
Stick around and find out.
What, stick within a foot of your reach?
I was gonna say stay tuned and stick around at the same time. It's gonna be stick around for a second. Stick around. Stick tuned.
Goodness. Stick tuned?
Stick tuned. Find out.
Just like that certain movie we watched recently. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on air because of copyright.
What?
With the stick.
Yeah, you can say them. We can't get in trouble, by the way.
Okay. Was not sure. Oh, what was his name from Toy Story 4?
Oh, Forky.
Forky. Yes, he had sticks on his feet.
Should we be? I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Oh, I already did.
No, everybody
Oh.
knows I knew he was in the movie. I was just gonna say his line because it was freaking hilarious.
Just say spoiler alert before you say it.
Oh, you want me to do it? I guess it's not. It doesn't give
As
away
long
the
as you say
storyline.
spoiler alert, at least you
Oh,
warn
then
them.
it's okay.
Yes, and then they can just cover.
So I can just
Ears
be like,
for
spoiler
about-
alert, mother was a killer. You don't want to give away the whole movie. I'm not. This is just a line from the movie. This is my favorite line from the movie. How about there you
There
go?
you
It's
go.
not
There's
a spoiler,
proper.
but just for the sake of it, spoiler alert. Forky always says, "I'm trash." And he
Yes,
runs
he
towards
does.
the trash can.
He loves the trash.
I'm trash. It's the only thing he can say. Oh, it's freaking awesome. I didn't think they were capable of making another good one, but they
But that
have
one was good.
mastered the Toy Story storyline.
I agree completely.
Every single one of them is its own thing individually, but it is a continuous story, and it doesn't feel repeated. I mean, in a sense, it's always the same thing. The toys get lost. They got to find their way back. It's all of them. Every movie has a base storyline. But they just seem to know how to keep... Like, you're up to 4. Usually by now, movies start
Something
to...
would die out.
It starts to lose its feel.
Yeah, look
mean,
at the.
It's Saul.
Zzz, I
Yeah,
was
and
about
it's
to say
going to be remade, by the way,
Again,
by
I've seen
Chris
that.
Rock.
Seen that?
Chris Rock
I
is
was like-
going to remake...
How is a comedian going to do a horror movie?
But I mean, Key and Peele are doing it right now, too. Remember, they came out with 2 horror movies right now. They've
Oh,
both
yeah.
been really good, but
Forgot about that.
he doesn't seem... He's never showed that side, unless this is like a side we've never seen. He's going to shock us all with this
Chris Rock
badass
is secretly sadistic.
horror movie, but I don't see it.
No.
And it's Saw. I mean, anybody can remake Saw.
Well, unless he's completely putting a
It's just
comedic
like-
twist on it, he may
No,
transform it.
I don't think it's going to be a comedy.
I think it's going to be by the book Saul.
It's going to be... Why are we rebooting Saw? I will never understand, but whatever. I don't know what there is to remake because it gives away the thrill of seeing that first one. Because it was so good. Like, I give
Right.
it to them. The storyline on the first one was awesome. It was shot in one room.
The first 3, I was within the first 3 realm, and after that, I felt like it was an overkill. Kind of like with the I Know What You Did with Last Summer's.
Yeah, I only seen one because there's only one. I'm sorry.
There's I Still Know.
I don't care. If there's I Still, and I always remember and forever remember that one time at bank. I don't know
As
why.
he goes
they-
off in a totally different direction.
Just like Scream. To me, there's only one Scream. The others suck. Just like was it Page Master?
Yes.
There was only one,
I actually love that movie.
right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? The Wes Craven horror movie? Not Page
No,
Master.
Wishmaster.
Wishmaster. I was close. I didn't know that.
Page Master
is
was
Macaulay Culkin.
yes, and it was
Yeah,
the
no.
cartoon.
Yeah, I meant my
I
bad.
was about to say I love those
Wishmaster.
movies.
There's only one
Not cool.
Wishmaster because Wes Craven only did the first one.
Squeak.
I don't
warning.
like it when the director changes or something, like especially like when it'd been like them doing the Jurassic Park sequels without Spielberg.
Right.
It's like doing Star Wars without George Lucas. It'd been like he did the first one and then different people took the ring. Well, actually, that's what they're doing now. But
I think we need to get back on topic here.
oh, so yeah, and then that was just one story.
Oh goodness.
And then we're gonna talk about firework injuries.
Really?
Yeah, I dug in good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
So, what do you got over there? What did you write down? I think I get different stuff. I think we're good. We can do those together then.
Well, it looks like we both are gonna have some.
All right, cool, awesome. You
Well,
know what?
I guess we're on the same track with that.
you just want to start off there
Sure, why not?
since it's both common thing. To
Would you
us.
like me to go ahead and quote mine real quick?
You just throw me what you got.
All right.
I got actually
Well,
a lot over here.
I got some technical speech to begin it with.
Oh god.
That every year, one of the biggest things about the 4th of July and fireworks is, of course, injuries. They all drill it down your throat about injuries. Don't burn yourself, whatnot. Well, the Consumer Product Safety Commission estimated that 12,900 firework-related injuries in 2017.
What about last year? They haven't got all the statistics. So what I'm getting at is all of mine, ironically, came out of 2017 as well.
Really?
I couldn't find anything recent.
That's odd.
Most of my stories were like from like nobody did anything last year.
Just a warning, folks. This may be graphic to an extent, so just a heads up.
What you got?
Well, this guy,
Wait a minute. How many injuries did you get?
I just did one.
No, you said on how many people you say get hurt?
12,900
Okay.
estimated.
Okay. Well, since we both researched out of the same year, did you know that 8 of those were actually fatal?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I
That's
got
insane.
a story that actually showed that, 8 of them were fatal. out of
That's
those.
insane.
8 people died in 2017 because apparently 2018 doesn't exist in the Matrix.
Of course.
That 8 of those were deaths.
Hmm.
But I couldn't find any stories. Mine was from a different side, obviously.
Well, I got one story here.
All right.
This brilliant man somewhere, brilliant as an underestimation, I'm sure, decided to bundle 40 sparklers together
Didn't like 10 come in a box?
and held them. Yes, 10 in a box about. That's probably right. Bundled them together and was holding them, and it completely melted and encased his hand. So his hand was melted into sparklers.
Iron Man.
Exactly. He had the gauntlet. He was trying to achieve the gauntlet.
Yeah, he was trying to snap his
Infinity
fingers
Gauntlet.
and
you
bring
know?
world peace.
Yeah, 'cause
We'll
that's what
give
that
him the
does.
benefit of the doubt that he was trying to create his own Infinity Gauntlet and to snap his fingers to create world peace. Not that
Yes.
just that he was a moron and put too many of them together and then think about it's flaming hot metal and it's going to bend and mold to whatever it's touching and it just happens to be your hand. Please, you get like a full story on that, or is that all you got?
That's all that it said. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say like if it took him like
No.
8 hours to like saw off the excess iron metal.
I think it said something about he
sustain like.
severe injury. Obviously,
Did he lose it? Because he deserves to lose it.
it didn't say if he lost it or not. I'm sure he
That's-
did. I'm sure it had a been
Yeah, that was pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty
grody.
grody. Yeah.
Do you have more stories?
No, that's the only one. I was just kind of using it as a
Or is that
nice
all? Is that all
example.
you have for on your firework injuries?
On my firework
All
injuries.
right, I got you on this one. You ready for this?
All right.
This actually ties right into yours. Actually,
That's
this
kind of
actually
funny.
kind of will roll right into this. So the hand and fingers make up 36% of firework bodily injuries.
Obviously.
Out of all injuries to the body, the hands and fingers are 36%.
makes
Ironically,
sense.
you just told one of those stories. It's one of the most injured body parts, and here's the funny twist. You know what the lowest percentage body part is
Hmm.
that gets injured?
What's that?
Take a guess.
Yeah, your knees?
Your arms.
Because your
The
hands are
hands-
blocking it.
Your hands are the most injured, and the arms are the least injured.
Hmm.
You would think that the arm would be higher up.
Yes, but you're constantly using your hands, so your hands
It
blocking
only
that
makes
part of your
up
body.
5%.
That's odd.
The hand and fingers make up 36%, but the arm only makes up 5%. So
That's
most of
weird.
the injuries are directly to the hand, and I guess if it's any spillage, that's what the arm gets, but it's all, I guess, direct.
Huh.
Let's see where we're at. Oh, here's a good one. So out of all the fireworks that have caused injuries, the number one making up 20%, which is probably not a surprise, is firecrackers. Most injuries come from firecrackers.
Well, because the wicks are so short on them.
And that's at 20%. And then, where is it at? Oh my gosh. Oh,
Boom, boom, boom.
and the second most at 19%? So firecrackers are number one. Number two, sparklers.
Well, yeah, because it depends on the type of sparkler you get.
They're
If,
literally 1% off from a firecracker, a thing that explodes to a glittery stick.
Yes, but most of them are made out of metal, which gets hot and it burns people's fingers,
I have
etc.
never.
Me neither, but I'm just saying that's
How
the theory.
special do you have to be to get hurt by a sparkler?
You'd be surprised.
Because you can just drop it. Ow. Let go. A firecracker, you can't. It explodes.
It's like,
Yeah, there's no drop or it just happens. Like it's boom. Which I've had several firecracker injuries in my days.
I'm sure you have.
That's why they freak me out. That's why I don't like, they scare me, like the wicks. That's why I like doing a whole pack because it has that additional wick on it. I know I'm
Well,
safe.
that's how you're technically supposed to light them anyway.
Yeah,
is
you're not
connect
supposed
them
to-
all to one long wick.
Yeah, and it's supposed to
go
be-
pop, 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 pop.
Where was I at here? The lowest? Fountains. The one you sit in the ground, light it, and, you know, just sparks fly. It's like a stationary sparkler on steroids. It makes up 1%.
Yeah, that's because nobody's near them.
Usually they light, you step back, they have a long enough
Well,
wick.
then you got the mortars. I'm sure that's on there somewhere.
Do you know what age range has the most injuries?
Probably 40s.
25 to 44.
That's
Make
what
up
I-
34%
Well, that's most of your
the
parental age.
age range. Yeah. Here's the crazier part. You ready for this? So 0 to 4 year olds and 45 to 64 are the lowest at 9%. So 44-year-old has a 34% chance, but you turn 45 and cuts down. I guess you retire at that point and, like, I guess literally pass the torch to the next generation. Like, here, kid, you're now on. I'm gonna
Right.
sit back and watch them all. Is that the retirement age for firework
That
starter?
sounds about right.
Igniter?
Once the oldest child becomes an adult and they can afford to buy them, they automatically get
Or old enough to trust with them, because it's 25.
Hmm.
But yeah, newborns to a 4-year-old has the same odds of a 45 to 60. I guess because those age range of people are the ones holding the other age range. Think about it, that's the grandparents are holding the grandbabies.
Just a PSA, people. Don't let your newborns light fireworks.
No, why? They can't. The lighter's childproof.
Well, I guess it just depends on how you look at it.
But yeah, that's what I had on the fireworks. So you got, what else you got?
Well, I have this nice little story about
Ooh, I had
visitors.
4 things.
Oh,
I had 4 stories. I didn't realize.
visitors who like to show up a lot on the 4th of July, of all days.
This isn't a racist joke, is it?
No,
Okay.
unless you're racist against aliens.
I mean,
As many people could assume, of course, the 4th of July has the highest rate of UFO sightings than any other day. Boom, boom, boom.
why does that almost make sense, though? I mean, just think. If you
Well, there's
if
a
you believe,
theory.
yeah, if you believe, they probably pick up on our habits. So these aliens have noticed around certain times. I guess we can't say year because we don't know how they track time, but they know ever so often that parts of this planet blow things up. It's
Right.
almost like we have a war on ourselves and they can't figure out why, and they probably do show up to study it and figure out why are we doing this.
Well, there's a
Why
theory
are we
that
just
says they're
standing
just
around?
attracted to the lights and
Yeah,
the
think about
booms
that. You probably at a certain distance can probably see that from space.
And then the other side of it is it just paper lanterns?
Yeah, that's a thing. Some places, I'm sure. Somewhere. I mean, the Chinese do it for the New Year. Their New Year.
Well, it's
They probably do it on their.
the most recent
it's
sighting was in
Independence Day,
Denver
but-
last year on the 4th of July.
Oh
And
no.
they had the most UFO sightings in, you know where it's at, don't you?
I don't want to. Okay, so that's a whole story within itself that we should save for another time. But yes, I can believe that because the secrets that Denver Airport holds. That's all I'll say.
And he would go there
Oh,
for all you nerds out there.
yeah, that one's a good one.
Well, yeah, because it seems like every 4th of July, there's the hundreds of witnesses. And
Of course.
they're
there
like,
is.
is it paper lanterns? I don't know.
It's like it's just a weather balloon. Now look into the shiny stick.
Flash.
All right, is that all you got on that?
That's all I got on that, of course.
All right.
So watch out for the skies this 4th of July.
Oh gosh! All right.
Then
We're
hit
getting
us up
close
on
time. Let me see which one.
Twitter or Instagram,
Right.
and if they spot any UFOs, they should send it to us.
So if you spot any UFOs during the 4th of July, you should
Totally send it to us.
hashtag. Let me see here. Hashtag DC High UFOs. If you
Yes.
spot one, tell us your story and hashtag DC High UFOs.
Of course, on Twitter, Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram.
Facebook, and Instagram.
They're not beautiful pages yet, people.
Yeah.
Give us
But
time.
yeah. Give us. Yeah, tell us on there. That's how that works, right?
Yes, that's how that works.
Don't do these things, and I'm over here like, yeah, you just totally just.
Yes, that's how that works.
Okay, so let me see. Let me pick. Oh, I said something about the long. Okay. All right, yeah. I always should tell the story I teased earlier, right?
All right.
All right, so in Bristol, Rhode Island,
Huh.
they have. Wait, you have this?
I wrote that down.
Oh, is this one of
That
your
was
other
going to be my
stories?
next little thing, tidbit.
Okay, so well, you can help me with the story then.
Okay, you said it's in.
It's in Bristol. What? Okay, so what's so
We got like 20
Significant?
questions.
about Bristol, Rhode Island when it comes to Independence Day? What have they been doing different than anybody else?
They have the oldest 4th of July parade.
What? How could they possibly have the oldest 4th of July parade? Like they've been doing it 85 years before the 4th or something?
Something like that.
Because they have. Oh,
Well, the first one was in 1785.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
85 years. Or not 85. Well, it's
What are you
85 years
doing?
before it became a federal holiday.
It was 9 years after the
Yeah, they
actual
started
parade.
celebrating the 4th on 1785, which
9
was
years.
85 years before it actually became a federal holiday.
But see, the thing about that is, I have something to add there.
What else?
Where
you got?
that date has been controversial. Technically, a lot of people go ahead and believe that the actual Independence Day is August the 2nd. Because only two of our, I'm sorry, representatives signed it on the 4th of July. The rest of them all signed it on the 2nd of August. So it was believed to not be implemented until then. So the day may be completely wrong.
That's true. But to go back to our Bristol, Rhode Island story, did you also know that they also have one of the biggest celebrations of it?
Oh yeah.
They actually,
I didn't know that.
yeah, they actually start their celebrations on June 14th, which is Flag Day.
Oh, and then they
And
run
they
it through.
celebrate it all the way through the 4th of July. And then on the 4th of July, they have a 2.5 mile parade. So not only do they have the oldest 4th of July celebration, but they also turn it into like a festival. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's pretty. And it's this year marked their 234th anniversary.
Oh wow.
So we're not even, when we celebrate it tomorrow, it's, what's 85 after that, before that, but we're not even like, yeah, we're barely over the 150 mark then. Or do we celebrate, hold on, when we celebrate it tomorrow, do we mark it as the federal holiday date when it started, or are we celebrating it from the time, like 1776, or were we, technically when we celebrate, is it the start of when it became federal? Because since they have the longest celebration of this, so that means we
It's from day
technically,
one.
yeah, but they have the longest running, so nobody else is celebrating the 4th until then.
Right.
But they were the first to start celebrating until we made it a federal holiday that we actually expressed celebration for it.
They put a name to the face.
So that means we're like in the 150s, and this city's already over 200. Like we may not even live to see the 234th anniversary that we celebrate.
Right.
And they're doing it now. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
You got anything else? What else you got?
I just got one more thing here.
You got another one?
Yeah. So we actually share the 4th of July as an Independence Day with somebody else.
Oh no. Is it Canada?
No, it's not Canada.
Thank God.
Why you always got to blame the Canadians for everything?
I don't know what that's all about. Hey, hey.
Want some poutine?
How does
Donaires?
a Canadian spell Canada?
Wow.
C-A-N-A-E-A.
That was actually kind of cute.
That's my favorite.
So anyway,
Canadian joke.
as we're celebrating independence from Great Britain, somebody is celebrating independence from us on the 4th of July. The Philippines.
Why?
The Philippines gained independence from the U.S.
After we won the war?
July 4th, 1946 is when they gained independence from us.
Oh, it was
So
30 years
while we're
before.
celebrating independence from Great Britain,
They're
they are celebrating independence from us.
We should totally go there and shoot off fireworks.
Oh my goodness.
And wave
yes.
American flags.
This would be
Look at
awesome. You know what? If we get up to enough listeners, maybe we could have
do
the
it.
funding to go.
Do we
do a
do
podcast from down there.
a live podcast from the Philippines in the 4th? We may not make it back.
Hey, if we get 100,000 listeners, I may do that.
Just randomly?
Sure, why not?
100,000. You heard that, people? We need 100,000 so we can go to the Philippines for the 4th of July. That could be quite the dumbest idea we've ever had, to shoot off fireworks celebrating our independence from Britain at the same time they celebrate their independence from us.
Okay, maybe I have to withdraw
you do
from this.
realize on that day we are the enemy.
Yeah, that's
It's their independence from us. You don't show up and be like, yeah.
okay, fine. But I still wouldn't mind hitting that goal.
It would be cool.
It would be cool.
Maybe we should just go there in disguise. Be like, yay,
Yes.
screw the Americans.
Oh, we could put on a
Or
sticky
have her-
mustaches.
Yeah, have a Filipino. Oh, it's Filipinos. They're awesome. I mean, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, you guys are awesome too.
All right,
But that's
so
all I got.
that's all you got?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, so I'm gonna
We
throw,
may not go on a suicide mission.
All right, we only have a few minutes left, but I'm gonna give you another one because I thought this was pretty funny. I won't jump into the whole usual cliche. I'll tell you how much money we spend every year on stuff.
Okay.
I think everybody always says that for these. But here's a good one. After hearing the words of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, by the way, you know the year that they did that?
Yeah, we've said it about 10 times.
The military, including the civilians in Manhattan, tore down the statue of King George III. And then later melted it into bullets.
Speaking of melting things today. First a hand, now bullets.
First a hand, now bullets.
Or, hold on, were the bullets made out of the dude's hand?
Oh, that makes it all come full circle. It was them getting their revenge on the guy.
Yes.
They got him back. That was like leftover remnants metal from the King George statue that guy lit off. And
Oh, there you go.
it got its revenge.
It finally got his revenge.
So there's how that story worked out. That's
Except
why
there's how many year gap there.
who knows?
We'll ignore that
Then
fact.
technically that could mean there is some fragments of that in it. Then there could be. You never know.
Well, yeah, and that could be the reincarnation of whoever did it originally, though,
Right.
too.
I also got the king's coat of arms
Yeah.
was used on a bonfire in Philly.
What?
Yeah, they took his the coat of arms, the shield.
Philly go hard.
The shield they used with the coat of arms
Right.
on it. Apparently, they took it and just burnt it in a bonfire. I was going to figure when I read this story when it said burnt in a bonfire, I was so sure it was the South, but it wound up being Philly. Now it's kind of like, kind of makes sense.
No offense, Philly.
But yeah,
Y'all
no
go hard.
offense.
I give
And
you
then in Savannah, Georgia, they had
Oh,
a
gosh.
mock funeral, and they even burnt the king in effigy. Is that how you say that? Effigy.
effigy.
Yeah, there you go. I can't say that
Is
word.
that how you say that?
That is how you say it. You said it right. I can't
Okay.
say it right. Yeah, they did the whole thing like a legit funeral because we got our independence from King George.
Right.
So yeah, in Savannah, Georgia, they had a fake funeral for him and like buried it and everything. Like legit had a funeral, signifying
caught
it
it
was
on
the
fire.
end of his era.
Jeez.
And then the coat of arms was set on fire in a bonfire, and then his statue was turned into bullets, which is so ironic because I hope to God they actually used it in a war because that'd be hilarious.
That would be. It would be.
That'd be kind of something funny to look into to see if they actually did it or not. But it seems like
We're
we've
out of
ran out of
time.
time. It's going to conclude today's
Lovely podcast.
4th of July special here on. Oh God! Please help me. No. Somebody help me. No.